The sun had melted into the desert like molten brass, and the wind carried dust sharp enough to cut a man's breath in half. For days, the cowboy named Jax Callahan had wandered the wasteland with only a dying horse, an empty canteen, and a promise he had made to a stranger who never got to speak his final words. He wasn't riding for gold or glory or the law. He was riding because a group of Apache children, lost, starving and forgotten, had pointed him toward the horizon with parched lips and desperate eyes. Somewhere beyond the broken cliffs lay their people, their tribe, their hope. Jax had sworn to bring water, no matter how long the desert tried to grind him into bones. As he rode deeper into Apache territory, every step of his horse echoed with danger. The Apaches were known to kill trespassers without question, yet he pressed on, driven by the memory of those children fading in the heat. When he finally found the hidden spring, a miracle tucked beneath jagged red rocks, he dropped to his knees, laughing like a madman as the cool water splashed against his face. The spring was pure, untouched, sacred. Without hesitation, he filled every container he had, canteens, saddle pouches, even his hat. The desert tried to take him, but he had won. When he returned to the ridge overlooking the Apache camp, the chief awaited him with warriors silently forming a circle. Their eyes were unreadable, their weapons ready. Jax dismounted slowly, placing the water at his feet, raising his hands in the universal language of surrender. The chief stepped forward, tall, carved from age and authority, his feathers swaying in the desert's last breath of wind. Without a word, the chief commanded the warriors to bring forth something unexpected. 22 Apache women, all lined side by side like a wall of history and judgment. Their faces held stories older than the land itself. Jax had no idea what was about to happen, nor why the chief had chosen women instead of warriors to face him. And then the chief spoke for the first time, his voice deep as thunder rolling through ancient canyons. "Cowboy, you brought water to my people. Water is life. Life must be answered." What came next would shake Jax's understanding of honor, sacrifice, and destiny forever. Jax stood frozen beneath the burning horizon as the 22 women remained in their hauntingly calm formation. The chief stepped closer, eyes locked to Jax's with a weight that felt like it carried centuries of lost battles and sacred promises. The camp fell silent. Even the wind seemed to bow its head, waiting for what would unfold. The chief's voice rumbled again. "These women represent every mother, sister, and daughter who thirsted while our enemies kept the rivers from us. You brought water when we did not ask. You acted without fear. You acted without payment. You acted like a warrior who respects life." Jax swallowed hard, unsure whether he was being praised, judged, or sentenced. The chief raised his hand, and one of the women stepped forward, a young woman with fierce eyes and a calm, warrior-like stillness. She carried a clay bowl filled with the very water Jax had risked his life to gather. With slow, deliberate steps, she approached him, extended the bowl, and waited. Jax hesitated only a moment before taking it. She nodded once sharply, then returned to the line. The chief spoke. "Each of these women will step forward and offer you the same gift. If you accept all, you accept a place among us. If you refuse even one, you walk away as a stranger forever." The next woman stepped forward, then the next and the next, each offering him water in a ritual older than memory. Jax drank from every bowl, feeling the weight of what this ceremony meant. By the time the 22nd woman stepped forward, an elder, with eyes like burning coals, Jax felt the tribe's spirit pressing in around him, judging him, measuring him. When he drank the last bowl dry, the chief lifted his staff and slammed it into the earth. "From this moment, you are no longer an outsider. You are water bringer. You are brother." The tribe erupted with chants, cheers, and pounding drums. Children ran to him. Warriors clasped his shoulders with respect. The women bowed their heads as one. The cowboy who had expected death instead found belonging stronger than blood. As night rose over the desert and the stars unveiled themselves like 1,000 watchful spirits, Jax realized something profound. The desert had taken everything from him, so it could return something greater. He looked toward the chief, who now stood beside him with the confidence of a man who had seen the world turn many times. The chief spoke quietly. "A man who brings life deserves a life among those he saved," and, for the first time in years, Jax felt like he had finally come home.